Hello students, I hope you are all doing good. Stay safe and healthy. Because of this pandemic COVID-19, we are connecting through online classes. Please make use of it. So, let's start the lesson. Our environment part 2. In the last video we have already gone through about components of environment, ecosystem, food chain, food web. Today we are going to learn about 10% law and the flow of energy as well. In this slide, as you can see, these are all the trophic levels, right? This is the trophic levels, okay? One by one trophic level to other trophic level to other trophic level. So what are trophic levels actually? Nothing but already we have gone through food chain, in that from producer to first primary consumer, and from that to secondary consumer and top consumer, right? So this is called food chain. The system of interrelationship and interconnection of food chains, all the food chains together, that's called food web. Fine. So now from the one level to other level, right, the energy flows. Okay, so from the levels, here you can see producer, consumer. So from one level to other level, these levels are mentioned as trophic levels in food chain. Fine. So you can see in the pyramid, if you take one food pyramid, okay, then producer will come in the place of first trophic level, and herbivore second trophic level, carnivore is third trophic level, and top carnivore is in fourth trophic level. Fine. Next. Okay. So in this is a simple food chain. Okay. In this, it is not compulsory that in the food pyramid there are 4 to 5 levels. It can be 3 levels also as food chain. So this is a simple food chain, and this is only having 3 trophic levels, first and second 3. As you can observe here, in the first place, whenever you observe, okay, producers are the first level, and herbivores will be the second trophic level. And from that, if you see in the carnivores, there you can vary. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3. Okay, so depending upon the carnivores number, the trophic levels may different. Okay, fine. This is flow of energy. It's very easy and important also. See here, this is food chain, right? In this food chain, energy transform from one trophic level to other trophic level. How it is getting transformed? When the deer eats this plant, okay, when the deer eats this plant, what happens from this particular plant which it has been eaten? So from that plant, the deer will get energy, isn't it? Yes. So then what happens? When the energy is taken by the plant, okay, then deer gets some energy out of this plant. Fine. The same way, lion means this is in this food chain, this is what? Top carnivore, right? So from the deer, the lion also gets energy by eating that. Fine. So then what is happening here? Very simple. So the energy is getting transmitted from one trophic level to other trophic level. That is called flow of energy. Okay. But you have to observe one more thing here, important thing. The flow of energy is only unidirectional. Okay, because plants can be eaten by herbivore, that is deer here, and deer can be eaten by lion. Means in this direction only the energy can flow. In the reverse direction it can't be, because lion means deer cannot eat lion, means deer cannot take the energy from the lion. So in this direction energy cannot be flow, right? Okay, let's move forward. Fine. See, this is, but out of this one source of energy is there. Okay, without that these living organisms which you can see on this slide, these organisms cannot survive. So what is that? Sun. Yes, without sun there is no energy, there is no source of energy for all the living things. See here, these plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Yeah, means they can use the sunlight. Okay, by the using of sunlight the photosynthesis process can be done. So plants should have sunlight, okay, by the survival. So then what happens here? From the sun, okay, from the sun, the sunlight means solar energy. The sunlight is also called what? Solar energy. So the sunlight means solar energy is coming to earth. Out of that, only 1% of solar energy coming to earth is absorbed by plants. See, you can imagine on this planet many plants are there. Okay, so these plants are using sunlight, okay, for the process of photosynthesis. How much of solar energy is used by plants? What is the percentage? Only 1% of solar energy is used by the plants. Very good. Then next what? Plants convert this to chemical energy by the photosynthesis. So first of all, 1% of solar energy is used by plants. Fine. So is the plants are using that solar energy directly for the photosynthesis? No. That solar energy which is taken by the plants, that solar energy is converting into chemical energy. What is it? Chemical energy. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, see, this is the third point. Some of the things, okay, some of this energy is lost by plants to surroundings. Here what's going on? Okay, now, sorry. Okay, some of this energy is lost by plants to surroundings. First point is 1% of solar energy is taken by plants. Okay, that energy is converted into chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis. Very fine. The third point is some of this energy is lost by plants to the surroundings. Okay, by moving. Okay, by protecting itself. By having thorns. So these are all things by in some of the life processes. Okay, the plant is losing some energy. Okay, to the surroundings, like this, to the surroundings. Okay, then next what? Rest is some energy is left over. That energy is stored in the plants. That energy is stored in the plants. Okay, fine. Now we should know why we are knowing about the plants now. So what is the use of this? We will see. Yeah. So now in the plant some energy is stored. Some energy is stored. That energy is taken by grasshopper. That energy is taken by grasshopper when this grasshopper eats plant. Okay, fine. So how much energy is taken by the grasshopper from the plants? We will see. Suppose we will see 10,000 joules of 10,000 joules. Okay, here energy is calculated by joules. 10,000 joules of energy is taken by grasshopper. Okay, from the plants it is taking. So this 10,000 joules of energy, the whole thing, what it is taken by the plants, that energy is absorbed by, is taken into the body of grasshopper. But 90% of energy is lost or used up by what? Some life processes. Okay, by some life processes, like how grasshopper can fly. Okay, in the part of reproduction. Okay, so in the part of some moving here and there. So in this life processes, okay, this grasshopper lose some energy. It loses some energy. Good. Now 90% is used up, fine. Now only 10% is left, isn't it? So this 10% of energy is stored in grasshopper's body. So you have to calculate here. So now we should calculate sorry, out of this 10,000 joules, what is the 10% of 10,000 joules? Then we will get 1,000 joules. Okay, fine. Okay, so now grasshopper can be eaten by frog, right? Then we will move forward and see. Yeah, when the frog eats grasshopper, then from the grasshopper some energy will be transferred, right? So how much energy will be moved to frog from the grasshopper? We will see. The same process in the grasshopper, what is the process happened? The same process happened in the frog also. But how much energy it will take? So how much energy left over in the grasshopper? Yes, only 1,000 joules. Fine. So these 1,000 joules of energy will be taken by frog. So from that 1,000 joules of energy, only 10% energy will be stored in the frog. Okay. So how much then? 100 joules. So you have to calculate what is the 10% of 1,000 joules. Then how much? 100 joules we will get. Okay. Then this 100 joules of energy is taken by snake from the frog. Fine. So then the same process happens in the snake also. So this 100 joules of energy is taken by snake. Very simple. Nothing is there to confuse. Okay. So this 100 joules, from the 100 joules, again 10% energy can be stored in the snake, because 90% energy is used up in different life processes, Okay, very good. Then next we will move to hawk. So in the hawk means when the hawk, okay, eats the snake, then how much energy will be transferred? Very good. Only 10%. Okay, I mean 10 joules. 10 joules of energy will be transformed to Hawk. Okay, very good. So in this process, what you have observed? Very simple. That, see here, from the plant, energy flows to the grasshopper, from the grasshopper to frog, from the frog to snake, from the snake to hawk. Okay. See, from grasshopper, how much energy is there? 10,000 joules of energy. Okay, grasshopper has 10,000 joules from the plants. But from the grasshopper, how much energy can be stored in the frog? 1,000. So like that, how much percentage means how much percentage energy can be stored in each trophic level? Only 10% of energy is taken, okay, from the one trophic level to other trophic level. So that is the reason here that it is called the 10% law. Only 10% of energy is transformed from one trophic level to other trophic level. That is the reason it is called the 10% law. Okay. I hope you are getting me, right? What I am explaining you. Fine. Yeah. So now I will ask you one question. Okay. So that when eagle, okay, I mean hawk, eats one snake, so how much energy eagle will get? How much energy eagle will get, I mean hawk will get from the snake? Yes, that is how much energy? 100 joules of energy it will get, but only 10 joules of energy it can be stored in its body. Fine. So what happened? Then only 10 joules of, finally 10 joules of energy only can be stored in the hawk's body. Fine. So that, but if you take frog, okay, if the frog will take a grasshopper as a food, then how much energy the frog can take? It will have 10,000 joules, right? Means the frog is getting more energy than hawk. Are you getting? Okay. The frog is having more energy if it takes only one grasshopper, but still it is getting more energy. 10,000 joules of energy frog is getting. But even though hawk is having one snake, okay, but how much energy it is getting? Only 10 joules. 10 joules of energy. Means very less, right? So that is the reason hawk should have more food to survive. Hawks should have more food to survive because it is getting less energy from its food. Okay, fine. So if you go in this way in the food chain, then what you have to observe means the trophic levels to trophic levels, the food means the diet, okay, the diet should be increased. The diet of the organism should be increased because of the energy levels. Okay, fine. Next. Yeah, this is what still now I have explained. Okay, the diet, if you see here, the diet will be increased in the food chain. Okay, from if you take the producers to top carnivores, and what about the number of organisms? The number of organism decreases. Okay, means if you take grasshopper's number will be more if you compare with these three, because it should be more. This number should be more because it should be eaten by frog. This number should be more if you compare with these two. Okay, the frogs should be more because for the snakes food is frog. Fine. So if you compare with these two, snake should be more. Understand? So only the difference. If you take the diet wise, if you take the diet wise, then the flow should be in this direction. If you take the organisms, it should be increased, it should be decreased in the food chain direction. Fine. So the same thing, if you put it to the pyramid, okay, then the producers, P means producers, okay, producers will come in the last, means you can observe the number here in the pyramid. Producers are more than the upper trophic levels, okay. Then grasshoppers are little more lesser than a little lesser than these three, okay. And frogs are, you can see, only very less number than snakes and frogs are more than snakes and hawks, and the same thing, the same process. So in this way we should observe that in our environment, okay, the producers are more, and if you go to the top consumers, they are very less in our environment. So it should be like this. If any imbalance, means if any of our living organisms, okay, will be decreased in our environment, then it will be like imbalanced in our environment. It will be affected to all the organisms, all the food chain, all the food web. Fine. Okay. So thank you, girls. I hope you enjoyed a lot of this session, because you can see me, okay, as you can feel like you are in the classroom and you are listening the class. So I hope you got the concepts very well. Thank you. Have a nice day.